Hello and welcome to Sarai Crochets. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make a single crochet stitch. So this is what a row of single crochet stitches looks like. This is the front, this is the back, and then you have the V's on top. The V's are important, and we'll touch on why those are important in a little bit in this video. Something to note about single crochets is their abbreviation when you're reading patterns is SC. So if the pattern says make one SC into each stitch, then they mean make one single crochet into each stitch. Single crochets are widely used for amigurumi, sometimes for clothes and other different articles of like wearables, so it's a very versatile stitch, and yeah, a really good one to learn. So let's get started. So to make our single crochet stitches, you need your yarn and you need your hook. We're going to start off, like most things, with a slip knot. I have a video that tells you how to make a slip knot in more detail, but the gist of it is go like this, you turn, and then you pull this yarn through the loop. Again, there's another video that goes more in depth about this, but for now we're just going to jump straight into it. So first, for the purposes of this project, we're going to chain 11. And I'll kind of explain why in a little bit. I have a video that tells you about how to chain in depth as well. So again, the gist of it is you go in front, behind, rotate, and pull through. You're going to do this 11 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it should look something like this with the little V's. Now, to make our single crochet stitch, if you can see, let me zoom out a little bit. Here we go. You see how there's this little like kind of bump thingy here, and then there's this little thing right here. So this is actually the first chain. Wait, I'm trying to make it so that, here we go. This is actually the first chain on our hook, and this is the second chain. For single crochet stitches, you're going to skip this first chain and work into the second chain. So skip this and work into this. You see this little hole right here? That's what we're going to work our stitch into. So you're going to go and insert your hook into that stitch. So now you should have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, which means it's like the motion that you use for chaining. Your hook is going to go like in front and then behind. And you're going to pull the yarn through that first loop, and now you'll have 2 loops again. You're going to yarn over again, so in front, behind, rotate, and then pull through both of those loops. And that's your first single crochet stitch. So let's do it again. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Let's do it again. Insert, yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2. In case it's a little confusing, I'll show the yarn over in slow motion. So insert your hook, go in front, back, and behind. So that's your yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over again, pull through 2. And we're going to keep doing this until we get to the end of our chain, which is right here. It's this little bump, depending on how tightly you made your slip knot in the very beginning. So let's go all the way down, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, through 1, through 2, through 1, through 2, through 1, through 2. So now that we've made it to the end of our chain, making single crochets, we're going to count the stitches that we have. This is when the V's become important. When you want to count stitches, you're going to look at these V's that are at the top. So remember, we chained 11 when we first started this. Well, we aren't going to have 11 stitches, and here's why. We skipped that chain 1, so 11 minus 1 is 10. So if we did everything correctly, we should have 10 stitches here. So let's count 1 V, 2 V's, 3 V's, 4 V's, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you see that 10th one is a little bit curved. That's okay. It's supposed to be like that. So we have 10 single crochet stitches here, and that's why I wanted us to chain 11 in the beginning, is I figured that remembering the number 10 would be easier than like 13 or 17, you know? So yeah, now we're going to do our second row of single crochet stitches. All you're going to do is you're going to chain 1, and this is why chains are important too. I think I touched on this in the chain video, but chaining is how you start your project, and it's how you can continue your project, especially if you're working in rows. So chain 1, so front, back, rotate, pull through, and you're going to turn your work. Turning your work is something that you do with working in rows, and also sometimes working in rounds. It depends. So turning your work is very important, and I don't know if I said this already, but I'll have the video that touches more on working in rows versus rounds in the future. So, you know, you can stay tuned for that. So we have this little V that's right here, and then we have this V. This first V is our chain 1. You're going to skip the chain 1 and work directly into this next stitch. So this is stitch number 10. If we have our work turned this way, this is the 10th stitch if you started counting from this end. So rotate your work, and you're going to work into that 10th stitch. So skip this first V and work into this hole. So it's just the same motions for single crochet again. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over, oops, pull the yarn through. And that's how you start a second row of single crochet stitches. So wait, let me get more yarn from my skein of yarn. So insert, make a single crochet, oops, insert, make a single crochet, and then you're going to keep making single crochets until you get to the end of the row. And don't worry, it's okay if your hook only goes through like this first loop, or if it's a little bit more difficult for you to get it through both, or if the yarn sometimes slips. Like, it's okay. The more that you do it, the better you'll get at it. And you see me, I've been doing this for a while now, and I still sometimes can't yarn over properly, but it's okay. So this is stitch number 9. And then when it comes to the little curve stitch that I kind of touched on in the beginning, it might take a little bit to get your hook in there, but eventually, even if you have to go loop by loop, eventually you'll get it in there. And yep, and that is the end of the video. Or I'm sorry, not the end of the video. That's how you make the stitch. So yep, you have 2 rows of single crochets. Now, when you're practicing, you can make as many rows of single crochets as you want. You don't just have to chain 11. You can chain as many chains as you want, and then make longer rows or shorter rows of single crochets. But yeah, feel free to make it as long and as tall as you want to. But yep, I hope that this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe if it was. I don't really like asking people to do that, but it really does help the channel grow. And feel free to comment on anything that you might want me to make a video on in the future. But yep, alrighty, hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Wait, I've been working on my waves, okay? Hold on. Bye. Yay.